Students in the Mid-South are over a month into the new school year, many families settling back into routines. And joining us today to share tips on setting students up for lasting success this year is the Executive Director of Teach for America Memphis, Christopher Coleman. Welcome, good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
We're thrilled to have you here. And so I'm just going to make a speech about teachers real quick, all right? Great teachers changed my life.
Mine too.
My parents and my teachers are the reason I'm sitting in this chair today. Some of the brightest young Americans who have a calling to serve as a teacher sign a 2-year commitment to teach for America and share their gifts. And since 2006, for 19 years now, Teach for America teachers have made commitments right here in our beloved city. So thank you for the hard work you and your colleagues do to bring these bright young teachers to our city and our classrooms. Now let's talk for a minute about kids who struggle in school, because I was one of those kids.
Yes,
I was one of those who just couldn't keep up. And so is there a particular pattern here, a particular part of the school year that typically teachers like the bright ones that you have in front of classrooms see kids falling behind?
Yeah, I would say not just our teachers, but all the all the educators in the city. I don't think there's a particular period of time. I think what happens is all schools take the first part of the year to assess where students are, because there is the such thing as summer slide and things of that nature. So you want to get a good gauge of where all students are. So most schools host in that first month or so a diagnostic to really gauge where students are, because some may have engaged in some academic activities over the summer and really want to know where they are, so you can then position students where they actually can take on the knowledge and the skills that they need at the level that they are. So you basically start with the diagnostic first, then you go into the instruction, so you can tier and differentiate your instruction.
Right, and it's obvious. Obviously, you don't want students to fall behind, but can you explain to our audience what happens to a child when they fall behind in class?
Well, it's a tragedy if they do. Like, it's so hard to catch a child up. But one good thing is that when a child has also access to tutoring, because we do know some of our students, less than probably 10% of students have access to high dosage tutoring. One thing with Teach for America that we started last year, we piloted our Ignite high dosage tutoring fellowship, which we were excited about the impact it had with our partners, and we excited to expand it. But they have to have, I would love for every child to have access to tutoring, because it does accelerate their learning no matter what skill level or knowledge level that they are. It can just accelerate their learning. So that's a resource that schools need.
Yeah, and that's that one-on-one connection too that helps, I'm sure.
Yeah, and also like the tutoring helps with their self-esteem, because they get attached to the tutor. It's kind of like their mentor-mentee, but then they have a sense of belonging, and that gets them excited also. When I feel like I'm learning as a child, then I'm excited about coming to school, which also may help with absenteeism and things like that, and also may help in other courses or classes that they may have. And
you were expressing to me in the green room before this interview today about how important it is for kids to be rested when they come to school, right?
Yeah, kids these days, they're not like when I was growing up. Like, it was bedtime, you had to be in bed. But our kids, I would say, for them to be ready to learn, hopefully they can get some rest. I know there's a lot of times where the situations may not always set themselves up for that, but if the best they can be rested. Maybe they can have some food in their stomach, but if not, get them to school on time where they can get some breakfast and things of that nature, because just like you and I, it's hard to pay attention when you're tired and you're hungry. So hopefully the big thing is, outside of those two, is just making sure they're there, because if they're there, then they can actually engage in learning. If they're not there, then there's no way they're going to learn. And then, again, going back to the previous question, the loss of learning compounds, and it's hard to catch up when you're missing 1 day, 2 days. It just compounds on itself.
So is that the most important thing that parents can do for their kids, make sure they get to class, or are there other things you'd like to see parents do too? Well,
one, get them there. Two is really, parents need to see themselves, and I hope that they do. They're an integral part of the success of the child's educational experience. So be in communication in alignment with the school. Understand like your role, like you're just as important. Know what the goals are. And schools should also have frequent, I would say, communication strategies to communicate out to parents. Here's the progress of Chris, like your child. Here's the progress, here's where they are, not just at regular checkpoints, but also celebrate some of those small wins, so the parent can also reinforce that at home of like, this is what's happening, like you're doing well, keep it up. Or you can get in front of some things that may be not headed in the right direction. You can get to it before it gets to a head too. So constant, effective communication is key for both because they're in partnership.
Right.
You can't do one without the other. So it's key to have that partnership.
That's absolutely right. You know, the name of this broadcast right there is A Better Memphis. And I'm convinced if we ever truly have and want to ascend to a better Memphis, one day at a time, one family at a time, one child at a time, you, great teachers in our city and the schools, are the key. Don't you think?
I can talk to any person. I can say, name a teacher that impacted your life. I can. I'm pretty sure you can. Miss Kim, I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah, exactly. You can name them off, and that's what they're so key. And if anyone sees a teacher, just tell them thank you, because that's hard work and also hard work. And sometimes they get overlooked by all the things that they're asked to do, and they are definitely unappreciated. So if you see one, just tell them thank you and keep going.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you so much. Again, this is Christopher Coleman, Executive Director of Teach for America Memphis. Thanks for joining us today. Really
Thank
appreciate
y'all
it.
for having me.
Great to have you here, and keep on doing great things for our kids.
Definitely.
We will.
All right, after the break, we'll look back on a partnership on a museum pass to give Memphians a chance to experience our city in a new light.